Hi, hello everyone. Hope you're well. It's Temi here. I was just reading a passage and I was really encouraged. I just wanted to encourage everyone out there on wisdom and just encourage you that you have the mind of Christ. If you're in a place where you need a way out, you need fresh ideas, you need, something new. I just want to encourage you to lean into the Lord and just have Him give you the wisdom that you need. So I'm going to read an encounter that King Solomon had with the Lord. Solomon is the son of King David, the great king of Israel. And this was when his father had died and the throne had been left to him. And he had an encounter with the Lord in the dream and he asked the Lord for what he needed. So I'm just going to read now. I've got my Bible here from 1 Kings 3. We're going to pick up from verse 4. And it says, "Now the king went to Gibeon to sacrifice there, and that was the great high place. Solomon offered 1,000 burnt offerings on that altar. At Gibeon, the Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream by night, and God said, 'Ask, what shall I give you?'" So if we just pause there, because sometimes some people think encounters just happen. But if I can say, like from my life, there are times encounters do happen, but there are times we sacrifice and encounters happen. Usually if you've just come off prayer and fasting, for example, you have a conducive environment for an encounter to happen. If you've sacrificed in one way or the other, you've obeyed the Lord sacrificially, those are like prime places for encounters. So in verse 4 it says that Solomon went to sacrifice to the Lord. He offered 1,000 burnt offerings on that altar. He was a wealthy man, but this was a costly sacrifice, and the Lord encountered him in a dream that night and said, "Ask, what shall I give you?" And verse 6 it says, "And Solomon said, 'You have shown great mercy to your servant David my father, because he walked before you in truth, in righteousness, and in uprightness of heart with you. You have continued this great kindness for him, and you have given him a son to sit on his throne as it is this day.'" I'd like to pause there as well and just draw some nuggets. Again, on the thought that things just happen. Some people are just successful, things just happen. We all know David was a very, very blessed man. He was very blessed of the Lord, and he was very beloved by the Lord as well. He loved the Lord deeply, and the Lord did love him deeply. But he didn't love him, like picking him out of everybody else and just choosing to bestow on him above and beyond. David had a heart that created a conducive environment for this, and Solomon touches on that here where he says, "You've shown great mercy to my father because he walked before you in truth, in righteousness, and in uprightness of heart with you." And it says, "You have continued this great kindness for him." So David was a man after the Lord's heart, and he walked with the Lord diligently. David was one that walked in truth, in righteousness, in faithfulness, with a clean heart before the Lord, and the Lord did definitely show him his face. So picking up again then from verse 7, this is Solomon's still prayer to the Lord whilst the Lord is encountering him in a dream. So verse 7 it says, "Now, O Lord my God, you made your servant king instead of my father David, but I am a child. I do not know how to go out or come in." It's interesting that Solomon says, "I am but a child," because Solomon isn't literally a child here. If you go up and start the passage in verse 1, Solomon had just gotten married to Pharaoh's daughter, so he was of marriage age, so he was definitely not a child. But I think the sentiment here is, I am a child, like I'm a child in this. I don't really know what I'm doing. I have this responsibility and I'm not up to it. I just don't feel adult enough for these responsibilities that I have, especially filling the big shoes that his father David had, because David was a great king and David, had a lot of success behind him. And Solomon's here saying, look, in comparison, I'm still a child. So if I pick up again in verse 8, it says, "And your servant is in the midst of your people whom you have chosen, a great people, too numerous to be numbered or counted. Therefore, give your servant an understanding heart, to judge your people, that I may discern between good and evil. For who is able to judge this great people of yours? He's basically saying, God, these are your people. I don't know what I'm doing. Help me. Give me wisdom and understanding that I may judge them, that I may be able to fill these big shoes that I've got. I know what is required of me, but there is a gap between my ability and what is required of me. That is his prayer to the Lord. The Lord said, ask me anything, anything at all. And he's like, I need wisdom. I just need wisdom. Sorry, I got cut off. I'm back. So just picking up again now in verse 10, it says, the speech pleased the Lord that Solomon had asked this thing. Then God said to him, because you have asked this thing and have not asked long life for yourself, nor have asked riches for yourself, nor have asked the life of your enemies, but have asked for yourself understanding and justice. Behold, I have done according to your words. See, I have given you a wise and understanding heart, so that there has not been anyone like you before you, nor shall any like you rise after you. And I have also given you what you have not asked, both riches and honor, so that there shall not be anyone like you among the kings all your days. It's incredible, because it would have been so easy for Solomon to say, oh yeah, I want riches, I want long life, I want victory over my enemies. And these things are valid. Sometimes, though, we can focus on things when there is a bigger picture. Sometimes it's not the things we need, it's wisdom that we need. Sometimes, if we're having a difficult time in our job, if we're having a difficult time in our relationships, if we're having a difficult time in any area of our life, sometimes it's easy to get stuck in what we feel that we need in that moment that will get us out of a situation. Lord, I just need this job. I just need this thing in this relationship or to work. I just need this person to be different. But sometimes taking a step back and going, God, give me wisdom. I need understanding. This marriage that you've given me, give me wisdom, give me understanding to be able to make it what you want it to be, and to have a family that honors you. These children that you've given me, God, I just need wisdom. Give me wisdom. Create new thinking paths. Give me a heart of understanding. When it comes to our work, it's not always about just changing jobs. Sometimes it's going, God, give me wisdom. This job you've given me, give me wisdom. This opportunity you've given me, give me wisdom. Let me know what I need to do. The Bible says it is by wisdom that a house is built. It is by understanding that it is established. The Bible says that God created the earth with wisdom and understanding. So even God applied wisdom and understanding when creating the earth. So how much more us? If I pick up again verse 14 just to finish off, it then says, so if you walk in my ways to keep my statutes and my commandments, as your father David walked, then I will lengthen your days. Incredible. And if you know Solomon, he basically lived out all these things. There were some shortcomings, of course. He did marry foreign women and they took his heart away from the Lord, but the Lord was good to him. And he was the wisest man that's ever walked the earth. We all study the book of Proverbs to glean into some wisdom. He wrote most of it. So I just wanted to encourage us today around the value of wisdom and just reaching out for wisdom and understanding in our lives. And when we ask, the Lord will surely provide. Thank you and have a good day. Bye.